I got it. I'm recording, Kathy. I'm good.
You
We're
got it
good.
on? Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Thank you
You're
for that.
welcome.
And so it's been recorded. We'll send you a link afterwards, and we're going to shoot a bunch of facts and things at you. We'll be going pretty quickly, so you probably will want to go back and review some of the information. And then there's the simple agenda. We'll just tell you a little bit about the company, give you some of the facts and problems about marketing out there now, our what we feel like is a very good solution, and then tell you how to get those free leads. So we are excited that you're here. Thank you so much for coming. Well, Jason, I see 10:05. I am going to go ahead and get started.
Let's go.
Thank you again, everyone. Let me tell you and first introduce myself. My name is Kathy Hall. I formed a Time for Marketing about 3 years ago as a multi-channel marketing consultancy because I wanted to continue the work I did for the United States Postal Service for quite a number of years as a senior sales executive and giving some consultative solutions to major corporations. I like to say a Time for Marketing takes the pain and hassle out of direct marketing production. We're your concierge service. Native Houstonian, graduated from Rice University. I love working out with my boot camp buddies. I've been married to my husband Terry for over 35 years, and our only child is now Terry's 94-year-old mother, who we're blessed to take care of. So let me tell you the history of a Time for Marketing. After I left the United States Postal Service headquarters sales, I worked with one of Houston's major mailers, a company called Business Extension Bureau. Shout out to Joy if you're listening or if you are looking at the recording. But at BEB, I learned how to execute multi-channel marketing and the value of government contracts. So I launched a Time for Marketing, got certified with the city, Metro, the state of Texas, and Houston Minority Supplier Development Council. And I started making marketing collateral for one company, Ambassadors for Christ, which is a wonderful ministry that's devoted to helping get young people out of human trafficking. Started doing mailings and signs, newsletters, working websites, and email for the Houston Postal Customer Council, of which I'm fortunate to be a member of, and the Parkwood Drive Civic Club, even working with one of our tier 3 minority businesses in Houston, Turner Construction Management, which is a multi-million-dollar construction management company. So kind of went all over the place there. And then I landed my first state contract with Prairie View A&M University, their Office of Development, and I became their marketing strategist. Within 2 years, we were able to help increase their fundraising by 43%. Their annual fund alone went up over 72%. In fact, the first annual report that we created for them received one of 4 case awards that the Office of Development won with some of our other collateral that we produced for that office. The award-winning report was printed as well as digitally published, and I am so blessed to team with Pell Hughes in New Orleans for that Office of Development work. And as long as I've known them, Pell Hughes has been a forward-thinking printer, mailer that has long had the ability to design and create digital material and programming to complement print and mail campaigns. So that's a little picture of Paul Stackpole and his fantastic graphic designer, Laura Fitch, down there in the lower right-hand corner. Hello, you guys, if you are on the call as well. So what's the problem with marketing today? Well, how many messages do you think advertisers are blasting out to get your attention? Studies are showing that the average consumer is exposed to up to 10,000 messages a day. And as marketers get more and more channels, that number gets higher and higher. And the other studies have shown that consumers switch between screens up to 21 times an hour. And that correlates with, I don't know if it's true, but Microsoft put out a claim that the average person's attention span is just 8 seconds. Another friend of mine found a stat that said a goldfish attention span is 9 seconds. So I don't know, what does that tell you? But according to the American Marketing Association, that the more ads you see, the less authority any one of them have, and it lowers the impact. The other thing, we get so many emails. There's just a lot of digital noise out there. But it's not saying that digital marketing doesn't work. There's just a smart way to do it. And hopefully we're going to show you a simple solution and a smart way to do that today. But there's other issues. Do you have the infrastructure in your company? You could be a solopreneur or a small company that just doesn't have the manpower to manage creating campaigns, executing them, then integrating them all together, interpreting the data of your marketing campaigns. That can be a challenge. And just to define our terms, I had a preacher once tell me the first thing you have to do is define your terms. So let me define the terms and clarify the difference between advertising and direct marketing. There is a difference. Direct marketing is not advertising. Advertising builds image, awareness, loyalty, helps you recall a company or a brand, but there's no purchasing action. That's deferred. Direct marketing is sales. So it's used to generate an immediate order, an inquiry. It's any direct communication designed to generate a response. So the DMA studies in the past have shown that some of the three greatest direct marketing solutions, companies are using just 35% use just one channel marketers, but the majority of marketers are using three or more channels. And one time the big three were social media, email, and direct mail. So just want to give you a few stats if you have tried or trying to decide which one of those channels to use. People are using social media. Facebook now has 2.7 billion monthly active users. It trends female about 52%, and people spend about 35 minutes a day on Facebook. Instagram, 100 million, they too trend female, 58%, and people spend about 15 minutes a day on average on Instagram. Twitter, 330 million, but in one stat there says that 29% of Americans with a college degree use Twitter, and it trends male, 53%. Pinterest, 60% of the 335 million monthly users on Pinterest are women, and they have children age 5 and under. And then in LinkedIn, this is where this is the most popular social network with Fortune 500 CEOs. It trends 57% male. People spend an average of 17 minutes, and there are 660 million active users today. So if you want to reach customers and prospects, social media should be a part of your marketing mix and your presence. Email, it can be effective as well because 90% of your emails get delivered. Whereas, I don't know if you know this or not, but only 2% of your feeds get sent to your friends. Only 2% of your Facebook fans are going to see your post because Facebook wants you to buy ads. And the great news about that is that the solution we're going to share with you, your feeds will get before your audience, before your list. So it's not a problem if you're using an email service provider spam. I know there's some strict laws and regulations, so just be careful with using that. If you don't already have an email provider, this particular solution we're talking about today doesn't add email, but we can help you. A Time for Marketing can help you with email in addition to today's solution if you need it and don't already have that platform. But let me tell you about direct mail, the third of the big three. They're with billions of people on Facebook, millions on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. It's tempting to believe that that's the most effective way to reach the masses. But remember, only 2% are seeing your feeds. But contrast that with mail. 86% of people pick up mail at their first opportunity. 80% of them sort it at their first opportunity. And people spend over 8 minutes is the average people spend sorting their mail. And the millennials, even though they say they don't participate with mail, 57% of them admit that they have responded to direct mail. And I think a whole bunch more respond, they just don't tell you they do. And when people check their mail, they take it and they go through everything. You may be standing over the garbage can, but you're looking at every piece that you get, even if it's just for a moment. And they have to decide what to do with each piece. which ones are worth saving and which ones are okay. There have even been heat studies done to show where people process mail, and they do it in the living room, in comfortable places. Contrast that with when you're consuming digital, like we are right now. Chances are you're distracted a little bit. You may be multitasking, you're at work. We understand those things happen. Neuroscience, they've put MRIs on folks looking at digital and folks looking at mail. And actually, they found that physical detonates in your emotional center of your brain. And it's better at facilitating emotion, the physical. I'm just, it's in my blood, but it's true that direct mail works and that it has a tremendous effect on people. And combined with digital, as we're going to show you in a minute, it has a powerful effect. These are the studies. Every year, the Direct Marketing Association does what they call a response rate study. And every year, it discovers that mail outperforms digital combined, all the other digital channels combined. This particular study showed that the house list, your internal list, when you mail them something, you get as much as a 9% response rate. Compare that to email, paid search, social media, display. It's not saying that the digital doesn't work. It's just saying that direct mail ought to be a cornerstone because it's going to get a higher response rate. And when you combine it together with digital, it's powerful. And here's some numbers to share with you about that. Look what happens. The return on investment just skyrockets. When you combine direct mail with digital, you're going to get 39% more attention. That's what the study says. And then the spending goes up. People spend about 25% more when you use a combination of digital and direct. And when you add direct mail with digital ads, you get a 25% higher conversion rates. What happens is that digital is going to grab attention, but physical is going to hold the attention longer. And then you've got the added advantage that the shelf life of physical direct mail is going to stay around a lot longer. The studies show that you keep direct mail pieces sometimes a week or two, whereas once that email gets below the fold, out of sight, it's out of mind. So I just have to keep preaching about direct mail because of its high value. 92% of people go online when they get a piece of mail. Now, a lot of them, over 90%, leave without taking any action, but we believe we have an answer for that. And we're going to share that with you in just a minute. But 87% of people are influenced to make purchases when they get a mail piece. 86% will connect with the business. In other words, increase your foot traffic. 54% will engage in or go on social media. And studies even show that 43% people download things from mail. The Postal Service even did a study not during COVID to say, well, does COVID affect how people are handling mail? Are they afraid to touch it or whatever? And they discovered that there has been no difference in how people are engaging with mail, even during COVID. And with more people at home, you've got a prime location of which to reach folks. Last little study about mail. I don't know if you realize that Nordstrom tried to cut their mail program with their notes. If you're a loyalty person with Nordstrom, you would get notes in the mail. Well, they cut that at one point, attempting to save money, and discovered that they had to cut their earnings forecast because their foot traffic went down. Eric Nordstrom said on a post-earnings conference call that the company stopped sending the notes to its loyalty customers in an attempt to get people online, thinking it would get there faster, they'd save money, but it caused a reduction in foot traffic at all of their stores, and that customers rely on receiving those rewards by mail. It is so rare that an executive says that cutting direct mail can have such a negative impact, but that's essentially what Eric Nordstrom said. The American Red Cross also experienced a decline in funding one year because they too attempted to cut mail to save money, and it had a disastrous effect. So mail is valuable. So let's talk about the solutions. This omni-channel approach using multi-channel tools. You use direct mail to reach your target, and get them into the digital space. So they work very well together, so that using a combination, you reach the right customers in the right channel. So mail kind of cuts through the clutter, gets you the attention that you need. And then when they get in that digital space, you leverage technology. I heard on an American Marketing Association webinar last week that we must rise up in technology to stay competitive. Where you are in your technology is where you are in your business. So I'm so excited to be able to share with you some technology to how to pull it all together, because here's how it works. You tell us what you want to say, and our award-winning graphic designers, producers create your mail piece, your social media, and other digital graphics, or you can send us yours. And we take your mailing list. We can even help you create a list if you don't have one. And the list is probably the most critical element in direct marketing. We can do a whole webinar just on lists, but we're not going to do that today. But we'll print, mail your program, and then execute your campaign. Help you interpret the data if you need us to. And for about 30 days, you'll see, Jason is going to explain it. Your physical and digital messages are going to appear to your targeted list. Plus, you're going to get some additional traffic that the campaign is going to generate. You're going to be able to watch and learn who's responding to your message and where, even from those who weren't originally on your list. You're going to get so excited, and we're going to show you how next. A Time for Marketing is your marketing-based solution that's going to track the effectiveness of your direct mail and your digital direct marketing. And you'll see the greatest opportunity when you use direct mail as an offline marketing channel. And it's going to boost your results as much as 23 to 46% through integrating it with digital platforms like Google, Facebook, and Instagram. We know that 80% of sales are made between the 8th and 12th contact. A Time for Marketing aims to add an additional 8 to 16 touches to each of your direct mail recipients. And it's going to skyrocket your results. You'll see. Now, I get the extreme pleasure of introducing you to Jason Weber. He is the channel sales manager at Direct Mail 2.0. He was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, go Patriots, and has had extensive experience in sales and leadership for direct marketing and digital in the digital marketing space. He's got a proven track record, and he's a dad, a husband, and a fellow athlete, musician, cook, a knife collector. We got to hear more about that one day, Jason. And a craft beer enthusiast. So Jason, come on, share with the folks the exciting opportunity they have here today.
So let's just go to the knife collection thing real quick. That's more of like a man jewelry thing, right? I can't carry a purse. I can't wear all these crazy jewelry. But what I can do is I can have a cool knife in my pocket, right? Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for taking some time out of your day today to check out what we have to offer here. We strongly believe that this platform that we're about to show you is really the golden egg, the secret sauce to helping you engage your target audience. Now, the cool thing is that if you don't really know who your target audience is, we can take a stab at this platform and we will literally develop a mailing list for you of the folks who are most engaged and most interested with your business. So I'm going to explain to you really quickly 7 different technologies, how this is all going to integrate into one really seamlessly trackable omni-channel marketing platform that will generate an additional 8 to 16 touches for not only the people on your direct mail list, but also the people who are already engaging with your website, maybe even responding to some other marketing efforts that you guys have ongoing right now. Awesome. Now, one thing to note really quickly is that this platform actually works. What we do is we strategically place impressions to people on multiple different platforms to essentially get you the most effective and the smartest time to reach out to those people. So really cool how it all works out. Let's start it off. So it all kicks off with Social Match, right? So with a direct mail campaign, you're going to have a mailing list that you're going to be sending out your pieces to. Okay. Now this mailing list, what we're going to have the ability to do is take that list and match the names on that list to the Facebook and Instagram profiles of the people that you're actually sending your direct mail piece to. Okay. Now, simultaneously, we're going to create an online advertisement for you to put on those platforms. And the day that your pieces drop into the mail stream, so again, before they even get to the recipient's mailbox, we're going to start serving up ads. Okay. And these are going to be more of a warm up. They're going to maybe impress on those folks a couple times before they get the direct mail piece in the mail. And that is just, again, brand recognition. It's creating that brand awareness. It's getting their wheels turning. Like Kathy said a few minutes ago, people are seeing thousands and thousands of different advertisements every single day. The direct mail piece, considering it's physical, it's tangible, you can touch it, see it, taste it, smell it, right? That is going to be the impression that creates the most impact. So what Social Match is doing is it's warming people up to getting that direct mail piece, even if they don't recognize that they're seeing the same ad once, twice, 3 times before they get that direct mail piece. When they get it and they see it, that recognition is kind of subconscious, right? Oh, hey, this looks familiar. Maybe I've seen that color scheme, that offer, something like that. So how Social Match works is we start showing the ads the day that your direct mail pieces drop in the mail stream, and then we serve those up for 14 days to people on your direct mail list, okay? Now, throughout this whole entire process, you guys are also going to get seamless trackability with a dashboard that shows you every step of the way what's going on, who's engaging with my ads, and we will look into that a little bit later. The next piece of our technology, again, this is an omni-channel marketing approach. So Kathy mentioned something earlier in the presentation about how Time for Marketing is a multi-channel marketing consultancy, okay? And she's been around for about 3 years. So one of the biggest, newest, most popular and hipper buzzwords that you're going to hear these days is omni-channel, okay? Now, really what that means is instead of multi-channel where you're sending out marketing messages, maybe direct mail, Facebook, Google advertisements, park benches, billboards, radio commercials, whatever the case may be, all of those advertisements might have a different offer. They might be advertising a different product, a different service. And most importantly, they're targeting a different audience, right? So when you do have the same folks who are seeing them on multiple channels, that it's not connecting. It's not that brand recognition isn't snapping with them and saying, hey, I've seen this before. This company is familiar to me. I'm interested in that product or service, right? So omni-channel, what that does is it bridges that gap. It attacks or impresses your business on multiple channels, same message, same copy, same colors, same text, same images to the same audience on all of these separate channels at the same time. So this is really taking, it's really giving you the opportunity as a smaller, medium-sized business to have that marketing presence of your Bed Bath & Beyond or your Geico's, right? It's giving you that same presence where people are going to see you all over everywhere they go. The next piece of the technology is actually really awesome. You have companies like Amazon, right? I'm an Amazon junkie. I buy mostly everything on Amazon, okay? Other than the small businesses, support your local businesses, obviously. But when I do buy something on Amazon, I can tell when it's going to be shipped to me, the moment the packing slip gets printed, when it gets put in the mail stream, when it gets put through the mail hubs, and then finally, I'm getting a picture of that box on my doorstep. Now, what we did at A Time for Marketing is we married those two technologies. Basically, we gave the direct mail the ability to be tracked like an Amazon package, okay? So you're gonna have a unique tracking barcode on each individual postcard, booklet, whatever you guys are printing out, right? And then you can literally track on that dashboard granularly, piece by piece. When is it gonna be projected to be delivered? When is it gonna be confirmed delivered? Right? And if you want to get a little bit more deep into the tracking, if you will, you can search address by address, first name and last name, postal routes to see even a Google image of the house that direct mail piece was dropped off at. So we completely eliminated the inability to track that direct mail piece. And we gave you way more tracking than you really need. But at the end of the day, if you're going to spend a lot of money and do a direct mail campaign or do a marketing campaign, we at A Time for Marketing want to give you that peace of mind that what we're creating and what we're producing for you is actually being delivered. And not only that, but it's producing results, right? So the next technology we're super excited about, it's informed delivery. And this is a USPS ancillary technology that we can actually piggyback on and drive traffic straight to your website, okay? So basically what you're gonna see, it's either a notification on an app, excuse me, or it's an email that you're gonna get every day from the United States Postal Service that essentially shows you in a photocopy what you're gonna get in your mailbox that day. So really cool. For me, the best purpose that I have is my mailbox is really far away from my front door. So if I know what's in my mailbox, if it's all, bills or junk mail or whatever, I know that I don't have to go there. But if it's my, my newest knife to add to my collection and I know it's sitting in there, then I'm going to go to the mailbox and get it, right? But what's cool about informed delivery is that not only are you going to get a photocopy of what you're getting in your mailbox that day, but at A Time for Marketing, we can enhance that photocopied image with a full color ride along clickable image that will drive traffic to your website straight from that USPS email. Okay. Now, this is really awesome and super impactful for businesses because it's a USPS technology, right? It's not a marketing channel. When your consumer is going to open up this email, their guard is going to be down. They're not going to say, oh, I'm getting marketed to, so I better, not click on anything. If there's something that they're truly interested in, they're going to click on it, and that's going to drive traffic straight to your website. A couple of really awesome stats about informed delivery is that in the United States right now, there's about 31 million people utilizing the service. The signups for informed delivery go up by about 1.25 million to 1.5 million every month. And that's because when people are moving, when you fill out that little change of address form, you automatically get opted into informed delivery. And then the real moneymaker behind informed delivery is that the average engagement or click-through rate is 7 to 8%. Now, for those of you who are super marketing savvy like Kathy and I, you'll know that when you're doing a digital marketing campaign, your click-through rate is somewhere between 0.1 to 0.3, maybe 0.5% if you're doing real good and you're targeting really well and you have a great offer, right? So naturally, a 7 to 8% organic click-through rate is super impactful, especially if you have a really high product value, okay? Or if your leads are very, very valuable to you, okay? The next thing that we're going to talk about is call tracking. Now, obviously, from beginning to end of this whole thing, we want to know how our direct mail campaign did. And with call tracking, what we're going to do is we're just going to give you a little bit more of an ability to find that information out. So at the very beginning, we will assign you either a local or a toll-free phone number. That phone number will be put on your direct mail piece. And then when those recipients are responding, they'll call that number. It will get forwarded straight through to your office or your cell phone or whatever you have ringing now. But the cool part is that before it gets to you, we're going to track all the data of the caller. Okay, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, phone number. And then we're going to start getting to some really cool tracking where we can find out if it's a mobile or a landline. We can find out some lead generation opportunity. Is it a male or a female? What's the age group that is calling you? So again, this just gives us that ability to, before our marketing campaign is even finished, we're already finding out who's responding, okay? My lead generation opportunity, I'm sharpening my mailing list for my next campaign, right? Because ultimately, what are the top things that we want to do with a marketing campaign? We want to make money, and we want to find out how to do better, right? How can we make this craft better? Marketing is a marathon, it's not a sprint. We'll get more into that in a little bit. Call tracking is also really awesome. I do want to elaborate on that again for one more second, Kathy. Now, being in the sales and leadership space in my industry, one thing that I really utilized call tracking for was listening to my process. When folks were calling, How are my receptionists answering that phone? What questions are they asking, right? When it gets past my receptionist or my gatekeepers, how are my sales team handling those phone calls? Okay. Are they asking the right qualifying questions? Are they properly, are they overselling to people, right? We want to provide a service that is going to be what you need. I don't want to sell you a Rolls Royce if you need a Nissan Maxima, right? And that's not what we're doing. So when you can really dig in and listen to that sales process, and you can truly listen to, is your sales team creating the right value, right? Are they asking the right questions? Are they just digging in and asking for money without truly finding out what the recipient needs, right? They're not providing value. This call tracking number can do a lot of things. My favorite, because I'm a data guy, is really getting in there and being able to hone in on that process. Okay. Now, the next portions of this platform here is where we're really going to start amping up the impressions. Okay. So like Kathy said a few minutes ago, throughout this whole thing, what our aim is to get 8 to 16 impressions for every person on your direct mail list, or every person simply engaging with your website or your business. We want to re-engage those folks and create that brand recognition. So when they are ready to pull the trigger and buy, you guys are the ones that are in right at the top because they've seen your ads like 1,000 times, right? So social media follow-up is a great way to do this. So throughout this whole process, people are going to be engaging with your website. Okay, they're going to be getting that direct mail piece, going to your website. They're going to be, if they find a need for products or services that you offer, what Google Analytics tells us is that 96% of people are going to go to your website first. What are they going to do? Nothing. Google Analytics tells us that 96% of people that are interested in your products and services, they're going to go to your website, they're going to surf around for between 30 seconds and a minute, and then they're going to leave without doing anything at all. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the opportunity, identify that these folks are interested in my products and services, and then re-engage them where they go on the internet with additional advertisements for your organization. Okay. Now, one of the really cool ways to do that is with social media, right? So 70% of the world's population uses Facebook. Literally 7 out of 10 people in the entire world. Now, that's pretty impactful. So what we do on social media is basically anybody that engages with your ads, they click on an ad, or anyone that just goes to your website. Once they get to your website, we're going to identify that they're either a Facebook or an Instagram user, and then we're going to retarget them on both of those platforms. Now, something that's really cool about those two platforms is that the ads are going to follow the user, right? Because it requires a login and a password to get into your profile. So it's going to follow the user. So I have, my iPhone, I have my iPads, my son has his tablets, my wife has her phone. We're logged in everywhere, right? So now wherever I log into Facebook or Instagram, I am going to see your advertisements, whether I'm on my television or my work computer in my office. So super awesome, very impactful when it comes down to making that impact, re-engaging people where they're actually spending time, right? Now, also, as well as social media follow-up, we have online follow-up or retargeting. Okay. Now, this works the same way as social media follow-up. When someone goes to your website, we're basically going to follow them around wherever they go on the internet after the fact. Now, Google and the Google network is going to follow the device. Okay. So if I'm on my iPhone, if I'm on my Google, Chromebook or my laptop or whatever, and I Google your products or services and land on your site, from that point forward, I'm going to be retargeted advertisements anywhere I go on the Google network for your business. Okay. Now, something that's really awesome about online follow-up is that this is like your billboard. This is your digital billboard. So this is where we are legitimately going to show thousands and thousands and thousands of advertisements for you throughout the process, or the span of that 30 days that Kathy mentioned a few minutes ago. Okay. Retargeting, it's fantastic. Your average website has about a 4% organic conversion ratio. Okay. So that means for every 100 people that land on your website that are truly interested in the services, like I said, only 4% of them are going to stay and complete that cycle. They're going to fill out a contact me form. They're going to put something in their shopping cart and buy it. Simply by adding a retargeting pixel onto your website, when you retarget people on the internet, your conversion rate goes up to 26% just by putting a retargeting pixel on your website, which is really great. And then in one study that we ran through the Time for Marketing dashboard, we saw a 726% lift in site visitation after 4 weeks of retargeting. So it was one job that someone ran, and they got a 700% increase in their site visitation, which is unbelievable. Okay. Now, drum roll, please. This is where we are going to literally give you the golden egg of marketing. Okay. So, like I said earlier, the two most important things about marketing is making money, right? We want to make sure that our marketing efforts are coming to fruition. We want to know what our return on investment is. But then, because I'm the sales guy, of course, I want to know what's next. Who's responding to my advertisements? How can I take the good results that I'm getting from this marketing campaign and make them better next time? And there is no better way to do that than to direct market to the people who are engaged with your website. They are responding to your advertisements. They are going to your website organically searching for the services that you offer. We are retargeting them. Now, what we're going to show you how to do is literally quantify the anonymous website visitors that are going there throughout these 30 days, get contact information for them, and within just a couple days of them going to your website, we can show you how you can have a direct mail piece in their mailbox. This is called direct mail retargeting, okay? Now, lead match is really awesome, okay? For anyone who's truly looking for how did my direct mail campaign do, what lead match is gonna do is it's gonna tell you, John Smith went to my website picked up and identified that John Smith was on my mailing list, okay? John Smith goes in my match bucket. Good job, John. He literally did exactly what we wanted him to do. He got the piece. He engaged with my website. I'm retargeting him. Awesome. But then there's going to be all of these anonymous website visitors that are coming to your site throughout the duration of this campaign that were not on your mailing list. Well, who's better to go into business with you, buy a product from you, sign up for your mailing list than the people who are engaged with you right now, literally coming to your website and saying, hi, I'm a part of that 96% that's just going to come here as an interested consumer and leave, right? So what Lead Match does is once someone comes to your website as an anonymous website visitor, we're going to essentially track their IP address. Now, the IP is very vague. I have one in my office. If I'm on the 3rd floor of my office building and the 9th floor of my office building, my IP address is different, right? Because I'm pinging off different Wi-Fi. Then each individual device that someone might be engaging with your ads on or going onto your website on has a device ID. So we're going to go IP, device ID. Now, this is really where we can start identifying folks. And then within each individual device, you're going to have cookies, that famous buzzword, right? Cookies. Okay. Now, a cookie, for those of you guys who might not be super familiar what that is, if you've ever gotten into your car in the morning on the way to work and you get a notification on your phone that says it'll take you 12 minutes to get to work, there's an accident on your normal route. You might want to go this way, right? Or if you're ordering something from Amazon and you're putting in someone or your address and your address auto-populates, right? Those are cookies on your phone. They can identify your home address, your online banking information. Obviously, everything's protected. We're not going to get anything like that. But what we are going to do is we're going to run all of that information through a patented match system, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to spit out one data point because that is what's protected by the Privacy Act, right? So again, anonymous website visitor interested in your products or services. They go to your website, they get busy. Maybe they go to your competitors. What we're going to do is we're going to retarget that person all over the internet with your ads. But then we are also going to identify the physical address for that person too. Just the physical address, okay? So at the end of the day, anonymous website visitor to physical address, right? So this is truly quantifying the folks that are interested in your business, that are saying, hey, I'm interested, that just don't have the time right then to follow up, pull the trigger, make that purchase, whatever. So statistically, excuse me, when we direct mail or retarget and re-engage anonymous website visitors from that point, we can create a 9 to a 19% conversion rate. Okay. Now imagine that. You go from anonymous website visitor to right near 20% conversion rate, right? Think about how impactful or how valuable that might be in your organization to be able to quantify these folks. Okay. That's pretty much all I have on Lead Match. This is going to be your dashboard and what you're going to see throughout this whole process. This is a 30,000-foot view of your dashboard. Okay. If you were to want more of a granular view of what's going on inside this dashboard, all of these are clickable links where we can go in and literally pull that curtain back, uncover exactly what's going on. Okay. What kind of ages and genders are engaging with my social media ads? Right. In your call tracking section, you can listen to your phone calls. In your informed delivery section, you can see the latitude and longitude where people are engaging with that ad. Right. And then, and most importantly, in Lead Match, if you guys want to go ahead and buy those leads, that is the only thing that will not be 100% included with this. Okay. So this view that you're seeing, Lead Match 900 total leads, total matches 179, all of that is included. And then if you do want to actually buy the addresses for those leads, that will be an additional cost. Okay. Now, that is where Kathy and I at A Time for Marketing have decided to essentially give all of you folks who are attending this webinar the ability to do this, right? We want you to put this Lead Match pixel on your website for free. Okay. And we want you to get access into this dashboard to see this lead match and how it's working for you. Now, considering you don't have any kind of mailings going on with us yet, there aren't going to be any matches, but what we will be able to do is identify physical addresses for most of the website traffic that is coming to your website right now, even before we do a marketing campaign for you. Okay. And then once we get to that 100 lead threshold, we'll give you those leads for free just by participating in this webinar and essentially seeing if we can provide any value for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jason. That's an incredible offer. I think it's a wonderful platform, and it is what I've been looking for the 3 years I've been in business. Is how do you pull this all together? I know the value of mail. I know the value of digital, but how do you pull it all together in a seamless, turnkey method that average business owner doesn't have to get down in the weeds or hire a bunch of marketing people to execute that type of an integrated campaign? And that's what I believe we have and are able to offer now. What I'm sharing with you now is a quote that John Iwata, the Senior VP of Marketing and Communications for IBM, said in 2014, that your brand is so much more than what you sell, and that by 2020, which is where we are now, that the biggest advantage is going to be not your product, not your price, but the customer experience. And that's what we feel like we shared with you today, is a way to give your customers the experience of seeing you enough times that it resonates and it connects with their brain to know that you have the answer in the product or service that you are providing. It's just, we hope you capitalize on this integration opportunity. We're going to give you the lead match and 100 leads to help you see the value of this program. So we know that combining digital and physical gives you a consistent brand experience. You saw that your dashboard is going to help you measure and centralize everything and give you a complete picture of what your customers are doing and how you can use the data to anticipate what your customers, how they're going to behave. So we want you to be lean and agile business, and we believe that this could be the tool to help you market like an agency, but without the cost of an agency. Jason and I want you to know that marketing is not a sprint. You have to be in it for the long haul. And Jason, you want to make a couple comments about being in it for the long haul?
8 to 16 impressions, guys. you know, a lot of people in the marketing space, one thing that you always hear when things go bad in the economy is, oh, well, I got to cut costs. I have to, eliminate spending. And marketing is 99% of the time the first thing that people cut out. Okay. Now, what's going to happen if you're not outflowing? What's going to happen if your sales team isn't making phone calls? What's going to happen if your incoming new business dries up, right? You're going to have to wait 90 to 120 to 180 days to fill that pipeline back up. Okay. That's sales 101 right there. Once your pipeline is dry, it's going to take a minimum of 90 days to prospect to fill it back up. Okay. So with marketing, with this platform that A Time for Marketing has, you don't have to ever stop. We can do digital only campaigns. We can do direct mail campaigns, and we can have these ads ongoing for you so you can focus on building your business and fielding the incoming calls that you're getting. You can focus on generating new, more sharper mailing lists. You can focus on who's responding to my ads. How can I better serve my clients, right? Don't cut out marketing, folks, because if your pipeline dries up with what's going on right now in the pandemic, consumers are a little worried and everything's gonna, once that momentum happens, it happens on both sides, right? If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. So keep marketing, stay disciplined, stay repetitive, keep that repetition in. This is a marathon, right? We are not in the sprint. This isn't running gassers at our boot camp, Kathy. This is we're here. We're here for the 26 mile. We're here for the big bad water marathon. We want to make sure that we can stay repetitive with this thing.
All right.
If anybody has any questions, certainly let us know as well.
Absolutely. And we definitely don't want to leave without showing you how to get those leads. Simply send an email to info@atimeformarketing.com with webinar in the subject, and we'll send you the instructions on how to attach the lead match to your website. Again, that will give you the opportunity to know who's touching your site but not doing anything and leaving. We'll be able to give you the first 100 leads that come to your site. So, and that's at least a $50 value for that. But that's our gift to you for trusting us with your time this morning and being able to share with you this exciting opportunity. So now let me check. I don't see any questions in the Q&A. Okay, so we do have a question. They're asking, does this work in the medical field? And is it HIPAA compliant?
Excellent question. So, yeah, it is. It will absolutely work in the medical field. Okay, so basically what doesn't work in the medical field is retargeting. Okay, we are unable to retarget, provide any kind of information for anyone who might be interested in something medical, right? Now, for those of you who might remember, I said that Facebook is identifying the user and following the user with ads. So therefore, if I'm at, say, a public library, right, and I go on Google on a public library and I Google something that might be medically sensitive, I am unable to retarget that device with my advertisements, okay? That would be against HIPAA regulations. Now, if that same person is, say, on their iPhone knows that they're a Facebook and Instagram user, and if they Google something on, their phone that's medically sensitive, that same person, considering they have to log in with a username and password on social media, they will be retargeted on social media. So it's fantastic for, especially when you're talking dentists or doctor's offices or something like that, because they're typically unable to do a lot of digital marketing, right? And then with lead match, again, all we are identifying is one data point, okay? That is fully protected under the Privacy Act, is that one data point. Now, after that one data point, what we'll do at A Time for Marketing is we will actually have that data appended for you. We'll send it to another service, totally separate from the original source, and we will get information added on. First names, last names, email addresses, phone numbers, things like that. So we can then direct mail retarget those folks. So the answer to the question is yes, there are privacy restricted elements of this platform for sure. And there's also, if there's any folks that do EDDM mailing, there's also some stuff that we can capitalize on when you're using EDDM. One thing that I forgot to mention about lead match, which I was just reminded on in that last slide, and I'm really sorry that I forgot to mention this because it's really cool. When you export that lead match report, what we're actually going to be able to tell you is how much time people spent on your website, the top 5 URLs that they visited on your website, and how long they spent on those URLs and how many times they came there, right? So that's really awesome information. Now, if you think real estate in particular, if you have a real estate agency that has 10 or 15 different properties on their website that are available for sale, and I can pinpoint the exact property that someone looked at 5 times, and then within 72 hours of that person being on my website, have a direct mail piece in their mailbox with a picture of that property, that's very, very impactful. And not only that, but it takes the tangibility and the how personal that direct mail piece is, and it enhances that 100%, right? So I can say, wow, I was on this website looking at this exact house 3 days ago, and now they're sending me a direct mail piece. Yeah. That's impactful, and it really creates that brand recognition and that impression. So I do apologize that I mentioned that, but yeah, when you guys export those leads, you'll get some fantastic information to, again, just deeper micro target the people that are going to be engaging with your business to just bump up that conversion rate as high as possible.
Awesome. Thanks. I'm glad you were reminded of that. And Andy, I don't know if that answered your question, but if you need more specific information, please email info@atimeformarketing, and we'll get you additional information if you need it. And I see that Sharon has her hand up, and I'm going to click the allow to talk, Sharon. And if you want to ask us your question, you certainly can. Did you have something, or was that a bump on the console that you maybe inadvertently touched something? I'll leave it open for a little while longer, Sharon. So if you did have a question where you raised your hand, you can go ahead and speak now. But that really concludes our presentation for today. I want to be mindful of your time. I'm so grateful that you took a moment to come and learn more about the platform that we're sharing with you today. And A Time for Marketing is so excited to be able to work for you in this space. So please let us know how we can help you. We know that you can achieve some phenomenal results utilizing this program. So with that said, you guys have a marvelous day. You'll get an email soon to give you a link to the recording. Jason, do you have anything else you want to say to the family here?
Thank you. Just thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to check out our platform. Capitalize on this lead match opportunity that we're giving you guys. I mean, realistically, the absolute worst thing that it's going to do is show you the amount of website traffic where we can identify a physical address. Okay. Worst case scenario, you don't want to buy the leads and that's it. Or after the first 100 free leads, you don't want to buy any more after that, right? This is really awesome. And a lot of folks who use this lead match pixel, it really truly opens their eyes to the amount of people that are engaging with their website, where people are going on their website. So that's very important when you can identify the most effective way to reach out to somebody. Okay. So again, thanks again, guys. We really appreciate the time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.